everyone, welcome to Hiding in Plain Sight, the segment where we'll connect with brave guests who will share their journeys of transformation, revealing how they've embraced the parts of themselves they once hid from the world. Together, we'll explore how embracing our stories can lead to empowerment, connection, purpose, and the freedom to live fully. Join us as we shine a light on the incredible journeys of those who dare to stop hiding and learn how you too can turn your light on. Today, we have Lisa Chang joining us, and Lisa is a seasoned tech and lifestyle expert, influential public speaker, and proud mom with over 25 years of experience in the technology space. As a trusted voice on breakfast television, CTV's The Good Stuff, and Global's The Morning Show, Lisa is known for making complex tech trends relatable, practical, and meaningful for everyday life. Her passion for digital wellness and balanced living recently led her to launch her own original series, The Health Tech Up, a powerful exploration into how technology intersects with our health, habits, and happiness. Lisa Chang is not just reporting on the future, she's shaping it, one conversation at a time. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much for having me, Lindsay. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. So I want to start with your journey in the tech world, and I want you to tell us what it was like for you being a woman of color in that world.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, as you explained in your intro, I actually started in the world of tech almost 25 years ago. So if you think about that, you know, we were still using cassette tapes, we had big computers. I actually started in the consumer electronics space at Future Shop, great Canadian company, as we all know. But what is really interesting about that is that the technology world really didn't have a lot of people like me, either on the floor or even sitting at the table where decisions were being made. Now, as you know, we are living in a technological revolution. So, you know, it's really important to stay on top of the trends. And what I noticed as my technology career sort of expanded, I was in those boardrooms. And again, we did not have voices that were representing people of color, women, or even children. So the question became, how do we nurture people to use technology in a way that's really impacting their lives? And as my career sort of developed, I really became focused on the so what behind the technology. How is that really affecting us mentally, physically, emotionally? And there's no bigger time like now where we really need to hone in on that messaging. So yeah, being in the technology space over the last 25 years, I did see, you know, advancements when it came to representation, but I'm still gonna say not enough. Now, I know we're gonna get into it a little bit, but that really did allow me to discover my confidence, and that was a journey in itself.
So how long were you in the tech industry where you started to realize, I'm not really being seen here the way I need to be seen, my voice isn't being heard the way I need to be heard? And what was that like for you, that self-discovery journey?
I'm gonna say it still stands true to this day. So the last 25 years, quite frankly. It was very difficult for me, you know, again, starting in consumer electronics on the retail space, or in the retail space, you didn't really have people that came into the store that took you seriously. They'd want to speak to a man instead. Now, again, as that sort of evolved and moved along, when I started working for big technological corporations within the consumer electronics space, again, you know, you have people that were going to dismiss what you had to say right away and only see what you looked like. Right. I'm gonna say that as my career has moved along, it's been really important to hone in on why women in technology, women in STEM fields are critically important to the way that we evolve. But it's not, in my mind, advancing as far as it should fast enough.
And was it that moment of realization for you where you understood that you weren't fully living within your purpose and you had to shift things?
Absolutely, because as I mentioned before, you know, we have all been living in a technological revolution. I'm sure you can remember a time where the internet didn't even exist. And so how are we taught to live with the internet? How are we taught to live with these devices, live with these gadgets? You know, it's really critically important that we make sure we're understanding not only how it impacts us, but also future generations. So yeah, that is what I've absolutely focused my career on.
And you couldn't do what you're doing now, and I want you to tell us about the Health Tech Up and how that came to be within the confines of working for other corporations, I would imagine.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, it always became about the so what for me. I think as a society we get really focused on, wanting the thinnest, latest, smartest, fastest gadget around, but we really need to scale back and understand what all of these devices are doing to us and how we live day to day. So that is where the Health Tech Up was born. In fact, I was sitting at my desk in January of last year and just thinking sort of, where I wanted to take my career. How do we get out of the consumerism of technology? How do we stay away from that? Because again, it's not only affecting how we live, but it's also affecting our planet. And so when I gave it a lot of thought, I thought it's really necessary to do a checkup on how we're doing with our understanding of technology. Let's think about where it's gone in the last year alone. The emergence of AI. Do we understand AI? Do we understand how to use it every day in a way where it's benefiting us? Or are we living in a time where that technology can run away from us super fast? So I think the checkup on how we're doing with our understanding of technology and how that affects our health, again, mentally, physically, emotionally, critical. But we also have to think about how that's affecting every generation, from babies all the way up to our seniors. We really need to understand how it's even affecting our cognitive health as well, how we think about it.
So a totally inclusive platform and tool that you've created. So tell us how people can tap into that.
That's a really interesting question. I think what you've created here, hiding in plain sight, I think it's really important for us to understand that we might even be hiding behind our technology.
Yes, absolutely.
We might be hiding behind a screen. Our kids might be hiding behind a developing addiction. And so we also need to see that we could easily hide from our lives. We could hide in plain sight by the overuse and overconsumption of tech. So that really is what the Health Tech Up is all about. And of course, you can find me on all social media platforms, YouTube as well, and right here. I hope I'm invited back.
Yes, absolutely. This was really great, Lisa. We have about 30 seconds left. Is there anything you want to leave, any message you want to leave for the viewers?
You know what? I'm going to say to the viewers, just remember that life is really what you make it. I want everybody to stay incredibly present and aware of how they live day to day, the choices that they're making every minute of every day. Is it adding to their life or is it taking away from their life? And in a lot of ways, tech can be a wonderful thing. It could drive us towards living a better life, but it can also take us away from that. So I just want everybody to be super mindful of staying balanced with their technology.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming, Lisa. This was great.
Thanks, Lindsay.